Well, my tomatoes are finally coming in, and yeah, I wish well, I don't keep that good a track of what tomato is what. I've got paste tomatoes and cherry tomatoes, and that was intentional. That was the majority of what I planted. I actually am getting a pretty good harvest of these kind of larger slicing tomatoes, but I don't know exactly what they are. The only kind of larger kind of slicing tomato I planted was one called the Couvre, Couvre, and I had planted that last year, and I thought that it was more of kind of a ruffled style, and these are not ruffled, so these might be some kind of volunteer ox heart that was left over from the prior garden and self-seeded in a couple of places and just happened to do really well. In terms of the saucing tomatoes, this is a sunrise saucing tomato that I got that's new. And that was something that I was just trying out this year. It's got a good flavor to it. And then we have some the San Marzanos Gigante, or giant. We have a Jersey Devil, which is a hybrid saucing tomato. There's one called the Margarita, which is another saucing tomato, but I actually don't know which is which. I could guess, which ones might be the more giant varieties versus the less giant varieties. I think the Jersey Devils are the ones that are more pointed in here, but the way I kept track of where I planted was in my note file, and I'm just too lazy to look it up as I'm harvesting. So yeah, I haven't paid too close of attention. I'm just happy that here in the month of September, I'm getting the tomato harvest that I was looking for, because in the month of August, it was starting to look kind of dismal. I've got a variety of Sweethearts tomatoes in here. I've got some cherry tomatoes that are more that are volunteers again from Pryor's garden, so I don't know exactly what they are. They could be like Sweet Million, potentially, knowing what I've grown in the past. Don't really know what that one is. So yeah, I've got several mini volunteer plants in the garden that are producing well. I have a combination of Sun Gold and Orange Peruche. I'm just kind of putting them all together. I've been harvesting when these things are maybe not quite ripe yet, just to make sure that I get them before something else gets them, and then letting them ripen up out here. That's another thing that's been kind of cool this year, is that the weather, by the time I'm harvesting now, the weather has been cool at nights, and the sun, with where the sun is at this time of the year and this umbrella, this doesn't get too much sun in here. So I've just been leaving my tomatoes out here on the outdoor table to store, and that seems to be working well. The birds aren't getting into it, squirrels aren't getting into it, so that's great. There's a couple of tomatoes that I grow for fun, for snacking. The little red Candyland tomatoes, and the white currant tomatoes. The white currant tomatoes are very sweet and tasty, and these kind of red Candyland tomatoes are very just tangy kind of thing. My wife pulled these in and actually was using them in some sauces, which I found kind of funny, but because I wasn't intending for that. I was just intending to just have these available to just eat fresh, or to just eat them out in the garden. But they've been very prolific this year. Okay, well, that's Tomato 101 at PDX Garden Home this year. I'll see you guys later. Bye. Well, some garden chores that I'm working on today. I am trimming out these beds, and particularly the amaranth behind me, kind of overgrown. A lot of it fell over. It was just sloppy. Wasn't particularly adding anything from a decorative standpoint, I felt like. So I've been trimming that back, thinning it out. I'm leaving the really large, kind of what I feel like are the large majestic stalks, and then trimming out some of the smaller ones, and particularly the ones that are kind of obstructing the path, and letting light into the beds so that I can plant more of my fall crops in these beds. And then the other thing that I'm doing is trimming up tomatoes, particularly the saucing tomatoes. I've been trimming back the leaves and topping them off, the saucing and the one kind of large slicing beefsteak type tomato that I have. growing in here. The cherry tomatoes, I'm not trimming some. I am trimming the leaves a little bit, but I'm not like hardcore trimming them yet because in my experience, we're still at the beginning of September. Kind of a small tomato right now on my cherry tomatoes could very well become a good tomato by the end of October before rain sets in and kind of causes everything to turn to mush around here. So that's part of what I'm up to today. Hey, help me out. What is this flower that's here behind me? This is another case of where I've been planting flowers in here and I forgot what I have planted where. And I may say something silly. Is it a delphinium? I should look that up online to see what it looks like. I'm not sure because I know I planted delphiniums and I haven't seen them. I don't think I've seen them yet. It could be something else. If you know what this is, put it in the comments. Remind me what is this flower that I have back here. I've got several of them going, but this blue one is kind of the most vibrant right now. Thanks.